just getting a link, setting a stream. This will be cut out, hopefully. Just let me check some email. Yeah, sure. YouTube. No, what are you doing? Yeah, this was the first video. So I haven't prepared the questions from last time. I will show them in a sec. But since we will be doing not just 8 sessions, probably more. Well, I should stop at some point because I'm always occupying office space in our building, and because, you know, the upload is just fast here. But, you know, I guess at least 10 sessions, that will be enough. So I will answer those questions I have prepared for myself. You haven't asked any yet, so there will be time. Pasting link here and changing topic. So let's say topic, copy it. Is it 8? Yeah, it's 18th of July. So copy this. Sublime is here. Python for beginners. I should have just, you know, saved this because I will be doing this more often. Topic IRC. No, I don't have enough money to buy this. Okay. Previous shit. Oops. Okay, copying, pasting, having another topic, class is live. Somebody probably changed my topic to be more readable, so thanks for that. Okay, let's skip it. Let's just change this first part. So what will we do today? I haven't prepared because I'm, again, crazy busy week, but I have some ideas and we'll see. So that's it. Let's see if this will work. Topic, how do I use it? Topic is like this. Yep. Class starts. So let's pick some environment. This is, some window. This, I was looking for this. Never mind. So let's close this. This is too heavy on memory. Okay, there is my mouse. Quit. Close here. Close this. Close this. Close this. Also close this. Yeah. Work email. No, nobody can see this. Nobody saw that. Yeah, I'm not alive. Yeah, we did this previously. Print all folders in folder X with some filter. So that was one of the file operations. Not sure what this is. Where is this? Where is this? Get main.tom. No. Yeah, I was this was the file I saved from IPython. So you can notice that it always does this nice coding UTF. Actually, yeah, you can see this because I have 2 screens. Good. Let me just open this. Yeah, never mind. No. Okay. So yeah, so Probably you cannot see it. Well, I will show again later how you save. I mean, I saw, just to remind, it's just a command like save, and then this file by, and from the cells, so from 0 to cell 180. Yeah, because it's probably, it shows like get IPython run line magic. Yeah, so that's kind of the inside line in IPython. But we will show this again today. So let's remove this, so we have nice and sorted everything. So too much files. Yeah, this is one of the other scripts, not finished yet. We can use this for our googling today. And let's go to Python beginners folder, and you can see there is lots of things to commit and Android files. It's way too far away. Yeah, already 2 weeks since last update, and actually I did some updates via the web, so I have to merge it somehow. I mean, pull it and fix it. Git will be not part of this course. I'm way too lame for Git. So this is okay, this is music, this is stuff. Okay, so workspace 4 and 6. No, 5. 5, 6. Okay, and 5. Okay, so no. Okay. Now we can start. So Jupyter Notebook, and it will open some Firefox window because yeah, I don't want that. No thanks. I have to fix my default browser. This one is too big. So also you can see there is like a localhost and 888 and token, and when you start the IPython, you can actually, I mean, Jupyter settings, you can even like have it like global server, or just set it without any config. So you have to actually create the Jupyter Notebook config in Jupyter directory. Yeah, yeah, we can just generate it to have a look. Actually, I will look because I have enabled the. This is way too dumb. YouTube. I have to go click here, then go here. Wow, I have so much views. I'm popular. Anyways, nobody writes here, and I expect everything, every questions in IRC, because I haven't done it yet, but the IRC logs we have here, they will be also uploaded to the Git. Not much have been said, but for example, in previous class, this guy HDQN, not sure who that is, mentioned some good stuff in the IRC log. So the Arch classroom usually works just with the IRC logs, but since Python would be way too difficult to explain just via IRC, we are doing just over the videos. So perhaps in future there will be more people doing the same way. Okay, so now we know who HDQN is. Everybody knows Street Fighter. So in the future, perhaps there will be more people explaining more stuff about not just about Arch Linux, but about programming in general, or anything what was requested. Yeah, because we have lots of requested classes. So this will be just this, and I don't know any other. We could also do this. Well, somebody who is more experienced than I am, because and this, I would be very interested in this. I'm way too, well, I will not say my experiences with security. This is also nice. Everything there is just too much work just to do it. Anyways, let's get back to the topic. Let's create this Jupyter config, and it's routed here, so let's open it. So everything is default, but for example the port, yeah, so you can see the port and also the host. So if I would set it up on my server, you could just join in and use the server's IPython kernel, because it's actually, the Jupyter works like IPython kernel, and you can have like, I mean, other kernels. So for example, for Haskell, I think, JavaScript, and Ruby, I think, maybe R, yes, even C++, but that's outdated, and many others. So I think the Jupyter is like a very nice tool for sharing. So I really have to make this clean. But anyways, untitled. For this class we will make a new file, because for my previous classes, the day 4 and day 5, it's, yeah, we have some projects for iTesco, and this is way too simple, not very and this is for Selenium. So somebody highlighted me. Yep, of course. So yeah, that's too late anyways, but where I probably closed the, well, if I have a terminal, I will increase the font size. So yeah, this was some matplotlib example from previous class. So, and I think I linked to where it was some file, interesting links, I guess, and I forgot where I saved my questions. Just cleaning up, so we are already half an hour. This is old. Yeah, so I linked for this visualizations PyCon video. This will be for the Selenium. We can have some example for some page, getting the password, I mean opening some page, entering password for example, or saving it in some encrypted folder. Let's leave this. And so this was Jupyter, and just to, it has to be somewhere. Well, it's gone. Never mind. It's in the videos, so we can find it later. So anyways, this is session 4 already, and so we are finally starting to make something, some new points. So I haven't explained, let's go to learnpython.org, and I haven't explained, well, I hope so far everything is clear from these basics, because it's really just the building structure we will use. And I want to go more on functions, because I haven't explained the args and quarks. So if we just Google it, Python function args quarks, yeah, and this is even explained on the Python tips. So anyways, easy raise return, and now I will just explain it. So let's make it markdown functions args and quarks. Markdown, shift enter. Now, so we all know that when we have a function, so let's just comment it simplest function. So actually can make it in this cell. So we can do hello, say hello to someone. So the someone is a variable that will be required. Well, we can have also without anything. So let's just, that is actually the simplest function. So let's go one by one, and it will just print or return. Well, we can have return, so it's more clear. So return hello. So if we launch it, say hello, it's a function, so we call, if we don't run it, it will be just this function in Dunder main. So if we launch it, it returns hello. Know that it's important in the code. If I would just run this, it would return me a string hello and nothing would happen. So I would either have to save it and print it, or just print it directly like this. So in IPython it will look same, but in the code in the script it will print something. So you can see it has no longer the parent. I mean, how it's called? These Jesus, you know. Well, just these characters. I will quotes. It's quotes. Yes. So that's the difference. Okay. So now we will create a say hello to function with positional argument. Yeah. So say hello to someone, return. We can do it like this. So hello and format someone. So say hello to Johnny. Yeah. So again I can print it, or you get the idea. Just return string. Yeah. So if I would run it without any parameter, I would get this type error. So say hello to is missing one required positional argument. Yeah, so I have to have always at least one. Now if I will create yeah, add x2, well, I can just have add x, y. That's two positional arguments. So I can just yeah, it's really simple. How it's called? Or let's make a subtraction. No, yeah. So return x minus 1. So subtraction. If I will just run it, it requires two positional arguments, x and y. So it's always, the order has to be the same. So if I will do 10 minus 100, it will be, yeah, this. If I will just have 1, it will tell me again it requires the second one, the second argument, the I, how it's in English. And there is no way how you can switch it. At least I don't know any other way how we can like define the second one and not the first one. So I mean, I cannot think of any case where we would need it. So let's just skip this. I mean, you get the idea. Two positional arguments. Yeah. that's the stuff. So it can be many positional arguments, it's unlimited, but now we are getting to the args and quarks. So well, let's add a comment here. 2 positional arguments. Enter, yeah. And now we add optional argument. Optional argument. So we can have again, yeah, hello and underscore. Yeah, we can just have hello. Never mind. And now the positional argument. So 2 will be string word. So now it will just return the 2. Yeah. So if I launch it just like that, it will work because there is no required positional argument, and the 2 is by default string word. So I can either just write it like this. It will also work, same as if I would write this. Yeah, it's that doesn't matter if I would write it, define 2 or not in this case. If I have 2 optional arguments, hello, just yeah, and let's make it nice so it's yeah. So first world, second planet. Yeah, just no specific coding in here, but yeah, just to explain. So first and world. Yeah, but this is interesting. So hello, it's a function, we can see that, and we can also see that yeah, what arguments it has. So if we run it, we get some error and the word is not defined, so because I wrote word and not second, so that's fixed. So you saw that even if I make error in the function, when it's not a brutal syntax error, I can it will not raise an error unless I launch the function, because if I would do something like this would tell me syntax error. Yeah, so that's just one thing to note, that some of the errors might appear when you actually launch the function, not just when you define it. So that's no question so far. So hello, and now I can switch the parameters, I think, and let's try this actually. Yeah, so positional argument follows keyword argument. So I cannot do exactly this, but I can do this. Yeah, but again, it will return first and second. Now I have a question to the IRC people, at least to the one guy. What's this? When I returned, I have returned first, comma second, and I see these parentheses. What's the type of it? You can check in your code just by writing type. We will do it, but first the question. Just to test you a bit. Exactly, it's a tuple. So we can actually write it here. Yeah, indeed it's a tuple. So that's a common thing when you want to return two variables. You just do it like this, and the tuple has this great feature that it can unpack. So if I have first and second like this, it will save it. So first is A and second is mama, yeah, so exactly as I wrote here. So you can, this works also. It might be more readable. So if I run it again, this result is same. Yeah, but you don't have to write it. But let's keep it there. So that's optional arguments. You can switch those. But now let's make one positional and two optional. Yeah. So let's make something like fix this with range. Notice that the width is highlighted because width is it's used, for example, when you are opening files. I think we done that, but in the function itself, it doesn't override anything, so it can be used. And we can even have try. It's the same thing. Quickly, yeah, whatever. So yeah, let's try that. So the question is, if I switch, actually let's increase the font so everybody can see. If I switch the order, then I mean it's yeah, I just require, I recommend writing just view and having second term to run it. Yeah. So the question was if I will switch the order in the function second and first, it will assign them in reverse indeed. So if I will switch it, I can, there is no requirement to do a space in the command, it's just how you write it. So now I will run it, so it should be switched. First is mama, second is A. Yeah. So this is kind of confusing in this because I define first should be A, and first is actually second, and second is actually first. So this is way too confusing, so I will write it back again. So it makes more sense to when you read it back. And back unpacking. So also I will make it two spaces, and now space after the hashtag, and unpacking tuple. Again. Yeah, this is just what I'm used from the Sublime and Anaconda plugin, because it tells me to do the Pepe standard commands. So just yeah, works. Okay. So now positional argument and two optional. So let's just do print. I'm trying to fix this. We don't need to return something. It doesn't matter in this case. I'm just explaining how the positional and optional arguments work. I did it with, I can do formats, or I can do it like this. In this case, it's it doesn't matter because it will still look nice. Maybe this will actually, yeah, this is an error, but maybe this will raise an error. Yes. So even if I define functions, the variable names in the function, when I actually want to use them, this is not good, because I could use the width and try in the function itself, and it just raises invalid syntax. So it doesn't tell you what's actually the error, but the width and try is just well, you can override them somehow, but maybe, but it generally doesn't allow you. So we'll just make it like this, simple fix Maybe there is a better way how to do this if you want to have exactly variables named like this, but for now let's just do it like this. So if I have fix, it will tell me it requires one positional argument. And actually let's try doing this. This shouldn't work. Yeah, so the order should always be first the positional argument and then the optionals, because this is non-default argument follows default argument. Yeah, so non-default is the positional one, and it tells us it follows the after the defaults one, which are the positional, which are the optional. Yes, so that's just a habit. What you should do: first the positional, then the defaults. So because you get the idea, because if I would try to writing something like fixing this, it would try to put it into the with or try, and it always has the positional argument has to go to the this. Yes, so let's do that. Yeah, this is the same. So fix car. Yeah, I'm trying to fix car. I did it in French and tried it quickly. So I can do, again, I don't have to specify with and try. Yeah, and I can do something like this. This doesn't make sense. You get the idea. Yeah, so we can the order doesn't matter in the positional arguments when you define them, but it's you can do it like this or that way. Yeah, and that applies for all of the function. So if I have print, you see there is value, separator, and end. So if I will try printing that, and I can just define the separator. So actually I will try to write some of the more stuff. That 2, and separator will be this. I don't have to specify the separator itself. Okay, for some reason. Okay, in this case I have to specify separator, because in this case the value is actually args. So if we can doc python 3 print, so default parameter. So I did the trailing underscores in the try and with just so I don't conflict with the try and the with, which are the, actually we can Google it, which are the, like you know, try is try and accept, and you just cannot override those, and with is used, for example, with opening files. Yeah, so try and with Python variables. Maybe it's like no. Python statements. Just like this. Variables. How to with this? No. You just get the idea. You just cannot use some of the variables. You just cannot name because they are used as the default statements. So return with this in Python 2, it's also print. So if I will have Python 2 here, and I will have print default is, yeah, it's invalid syntax. Same as return. Yes. So in Python 3 it actually should work. Print can be, yeah, and now I've broken print because print is just AAA, because print is in Python 3, it's a function. So I will later Google this, find the correct page, what you can't use as variable names. Also when I'm at it, I'll just write it here, I cannot also define variables like this. Yeah, that's also syntax error. I think also, no, this should work. Yeah, but I think, for example, this doesn't work. Yeah, so underscores and some, I think only underscores are allowed, because this also doesn't work. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's an operator. And I mean, this is also used, this is also used, not sure where this is used. Well, let's not delve into that too much. Let's get back to the point. Yes, that's actually, yeah, that's keywords variable Python. No, but that's related. Yes, it's actually keywords, that's it. Yes, so all of these keywords you cannot define as variable, because they're all the statements, or it's how you just, because all of these you use, you write them and then you write space, or you write semicolon. So we just cannot use these as a variable, because they are like unchangeable keywords, which you have to use in the code itself. Yeah, so let's get back to the no, I just want to have the built-in function, input output. Yeah, is built-in function. Yes, that's what I wanted to find. So print, now you see it, it's the objects. So let's actually explain it again. So I was trying to explain that you can write separator as not, because this is what my intention was, but I tried to explain in print or in any other function that you can just don't write the separator. But in this case it doesn't work, because this help is actually wrong, because this is the correct help. This, because you see there is it's a star and objects, so that's actually relates to the args. Yeah, because you see there is a star as well, and I will explain that in a second. But just to make the point, let's actually try, for example, another built-in function. So id, yeah, no, that's not correct. I want to use, for example, yeah, let's just import something. So for example, import random I have to do it in 2 lines. Yeah, sometimes it works, but I mean, when I want to do the magic of asking what it is, this is not ideal. Time later, let's show something choice, for example. No, okay. Just a sec, I will find it. Yes, for example, this. So random and range, you define the start, and by default the stop is none. So I will just define, we'll try this, and stop is none, and stop in this case is it will try to do random range from range 5 to none. What? Yeah, so from 10 to 0. If I will write stop at 5, no, I don't understand how this works. Well, let's just use the step. So this is very simple, so let's make it 100. So it will always how come it was not I don't understand this function, but my point is that you can have the none, let's make it default, and 5 will be the step, and so that follows the order. Yeah, so this is the start, this is the stop, and this is the step, and I can have it like this. So I skip the stop defining, it will use the default, the none, and yeah, so that's just the way how you write things. So it's better to write it explicitly what you are defining, but in case you are rushing or just too lazy, you can just write it in the order, and it will work too. Both cases are okay. Yeah. Actually, it's random range, so yeah, because the random integer includes the endpoint. To show random integer, let's put a and b. So if I will do from 0 to 3, it can be 1 and 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So in some cases you don't want the 3 to be actually the 3. So because the range itself, the random range will not include the 100 itself. It should never include the 100 itself. Yeah. I'm still not sure what the step does, but that's not important. Let's just remove it. And actually, let's keep it for later, so it doesn't make sense. Make optional arguments explicit, please. Yeah, just to get the habit. So just to explain, the range includes the 3, might be an issue in some cases. Yeah, sorry, I was just joining some stuff. So let's get back. So the range. So range is built-in function, and it starts from something and stops at something. So, and it has a step. So that's why I was confused, because normally it can be used in for's, in the loops. So normally you do 0 to 10, and it's range 0 to 10. So just to make a point, for number in range, print number. So it's 1 to 9, and notice it doesn't include the 10. Yeah, inclusive to stop exclusive by step. Yeah, as I plus 1, I plus 2, etc. Yeah, start defaults to 0 and stops is omitted. Yeah, notice the exclamation mark. So I don't have to have the start. It's 0, it will work same, and the step, again, it's this is the short help, so this is the full help. The full help is, well, well, at least I thought it will be step like this, but it's in the, what are these called? The square brackets, yes. So that's like optional. So this rule doesn't work, yeah, because that doesn't make sense. But if I will do step 3, also doesn't work. So I have to define 0 and do it by 2. Yes, so this is interesting. We can actually see it in here. Sorry for not making the font larger in previous time. So no, I thought I will see how it's defined. Maybe we can see it here. No. Well, that's probably some C++ code. But usually in libraries, for example in the random, Python import random and random rand range, and 2 question marks will get you to the code itself, so you can see how it actually works. So yes, let's do a break. Let's do 7, yeah, 10 then back. So let's do a break. We've just finished with the range. So the random rand range, I can also just make a point for, actually I will actually try it on my own right now. Break. Let's try it on my own. So I don't get it.
Target, and it's one example of the Git repo. Here, this Git repo is about the content of source RPM of this package kernel. So each time when there is a new
Okay. Just fix my time. Oh. I'm not sure what's wrong in this case. Well, we are not ready yet, so let's just fix this for now. NTP service inactive. Damn it. So probably I missed TP service. NTP. Okay, let's manually synchronize it. I think I have to do it as root. NTP QQ. Yeah. What? No. NTPD, of course. Yep. GQ, okay. That's okay, I bugged this. I totally bugged this. What's the current time? Atomic time. $10:15. Okay, my notebook is okay. This is bug. I have to reboot sometime later. Okay. Yeah, get healthy. Immunity. Okay. Let's get back. So we explained the range a little bit. That in some cases, well, it's a built-in function. So there's also self args and quarks. Well, anyways, normally you just get start, stop, which are, well, start is it can be either defined or not, and step is like optional. So these square brackets is like optional. You also get it in some regular help I think, like find. Yeah, come on. Yeah, so these are like optional. Not all. I'm not sure about this. It's like POSIX standard or not, but some of the commands might have it or not. Anyways, let's get finally to args and quarks. That took an hour to explain this, but I think this was a good point. Anyways, you can definitely read this in some books. I think like Think Python is I have it actually saved. It's probably online, free. Yeah, or written by PDF. So for example, like functions, and there should be like no, there is no args quarks. And parameters and arguments, for example. So you get also explained here, but so definitely if you have time, read Think Python. I think it's linked in the GitHub repo. So anyway, about any topic you are interested, classes and function, classes and methods, objects. This is interesting. Methods and functions are different, so it makes sense in this case, I guess. Interface design, variables. So this is like well prepared. It's not chaosy like I do it, but yeah. Interactive mode, yeah. Anyways, after these sessions, at least these 3 or 4 sessions, you should be able to read this without too much difficulties, and get the proper explanation, because always, you know, it takes time to learn everything. It's really, you know, practice and practice to get it get it. Yeah, you know, it's O'Reilly. Just fun fact. Reddit O'Reilly. O'Reilly. Maybe? No, not really famous. O'Reilly Books, yes. Yeah, that's fun fact. I recommend this subreddit. You visit old Reddit, please. I don't like new old Reddit. We have lots of these in our office printed. Show images, yes, that's how it should be. Documentation run. Who needs comments? Myself. Yeah, definitely recommending this page. Anyways, let's get back to it. No, not this page. This page. Close this and close this time. I didn't even render and range. Yeah, it just returns a number. It doesn't work as a it's equivalent to choice. Yeah. No. Anyone who watches these videos will get lots of my personal information from this. Anyways, I don't care. Let's get back to args and quarks. Finally, args and quarks. So the args and quarks keywords are not actually important. What is important are these two stars and this one star. So let's write a function. Let's close this. So we have the positional arguments, optional arguments, and we have the args and quarks. So args explanation, and let's do args for now. So what happens when I print the args? So I will do args explanation. It's a function and it has the star args. So if I will do blah, it will work. But what happens here? It returns a tuple, right? Because this is also actually it's non-type. What the hell? Did I do it correctly? What's AAA? It's still non-type. So I don't get this. But anyways, my point is that this should be a tuple, because just to make a point, tuple 1 this is a tuple. Yeah. Make a point. Yeah, because star actually this should work as well. Yeah, also works. So this still doesn't make sense, but this should make sense. Doesn't make sense. Anyways, no, it's not printing the value instead of returning it. It's something else. I don't get it. I don't get this because oh, okay, actually yeah, you make a point. Good point. Again, saved me. Okay, so if I return it and do what I did before, yeah. Yes, so it's a tuple. Okay, thanks. Again, I missed that. So my point is that if I will just not return the args, but I will loop through them. Yeah, we can return. I can print it now. So if I will do yeah, that's what I meant. So you saw in the print function, built-in function print. Where is it? Print. Come on. What's the printing? So you see there is star objects. So it doesn't actually have to be named args. It can be anything. It will still work because the main important thing is star. So what this does is that you can have unlimited arguments. So it can be a list, or this is a tuple. This works as a tuple. If I define it like this, this should work as well. If I will have a list. No, okay. So that's I learned something. I forgot this actually. So this works with the tuples. So it's actually unpacking one by one, and it's iterating through the anything which is the whole tuples. So A is unpacking tuple one by one. Because if I will just actually, let's print just anything. Helping me too much. This will return tuple again, which you saw already. Yeah. So, and this should actually work as well. So first, second, print first, second. So you get the point. I mean, you should never do this, because then if I will do something like yeah, too many values to unpack, and this line broke it. If I will have just one, it will get me this. So that would be like very bad. I mean, for you, if you just write the function yourself, you would have to know how many arguments you have to write for the function to be working. So you should usually do something like this. Yeah? For A in anything, print the A in anything. Yeah? So and it works. So that's the args, and so that might be like for example, when you have a like a list. So let's make some useful example. So let's say we have a list, and I mean, not really useful example, because you know the list has a append. So you would just use the a list.append, yeah? And I will write a function which will use the args, I mean star args, to append to the a list. Yeah? So def add to a list and args, or stuff, just to, yeah. It's you know, it's called args and quarks mostly, but again, most important thing is the star. So a list is global, so we can keep it that way. And well, how do I do it? I will still use append. Yeah. For thing in stuff, a list append thing. So 8 add to a list, and I can do add A, add B, add CCC, and a list will now have all these 3 elements. So, you know, because you might, you know, the other way, if you didn't know about args, you would probably have to add one thing to actually this would also work, but then you would have to add it, write it like this. Yeah, that should also work. Yeah, but it's better to write it like this, I think. Oops. Yeah, just to understand what you are doing with it, with args. Now the quarks. Quarks. So, what do you think? The keyword. It's keyword arguments. Yeah. So, yeah, we can have a. Yeah, let's just explain it. Def quarks explanation. So, oops, of course, this should work if I want to just name a function and don't write anything in it, just pass, but just to make a sign point. But in here I want to print quarks. Yeah, just print quarks. So quarks. Come on. So B. Yeah. So this doesn't make sense. Takes 0 positional argument, but 1 was given. I mean, it does make sense because there are no positional arguments. I can define one because just to make I will make the point finally. The order should be positional, then optional, then args, then quarks. Yeah, just to make a habit. You've probably read it in the books, or perhaps it will be better explained. I might be wrong. I might be always wrong. You know, use critical thinking. I might always be wrong, and just always verify what I'm saying. But I think most of the stuff I'm saying is correct. Anyways, what this expects, the quarks, is to have something like this. So stuff 1, A, stuff 2, B. Yeah. So what you see, it's a dictionary. So for example, you probably saw that in requests, the Turtle library requests, and it had the actually, let's find it. Requests HTTP Python, and there are the docs. Yeah. So in here, I think let's just use this. Yeah, params. So yeah, you get the payload and params payload. So actually, we can see how it's defined in the IPython import requests and requests get. See, they are the just params is none, and keyword arguments are actually, yeah. I got lost in this. My point is that yeah, for example, the get. Yeah. So params is I mean, by default it's none, but maybe we can see it in the code. Well, that's some advanced stuff. Yeah, it uses. Yeah, that's we will not delve into this, but my point is that I was saying payload is a dictionary, and it actually unpacks in the requests to, you know, it uses the key and then equals and the value. Yeah. Anyways, that's again wrong. I haven't prepared for this, sorry, but my point is that it's a dictionary. So let's return it. So I make the same point as in here. Did I make it? I didn't make the point. Type args explanation. Of course it's a function, but this oh, sorry. Return anything. Tuple. It's a tuple. And it's a dict. Type args, quarks explanation, and let's just copy this. Oh, heavy wind here. What a summer. Hey, what did I do? I'm missing yeah. I did it correctly. Yeah, so it's a dictionary. So like some example, let's say you have a def yeah, some yeah, let's actually use import OS, might be a good example, and do exists, and I will have quarks, and I will be looking for if, let's make it a doc about this, looks if file exists. So again, not perfect example, because the proper example should be like when you have lots of like a big dictionary with lots of things, and you want to take specific things from the dictionary. Actually, we can make a point in this as well. So let's just do, OS path exists file, and now I can do exists, but I have to specify file like this, and let's do /user. File is not defined, so actually I have to define it as like this. No, it's a dictionary, so I have to do this. No, I'm wrong. Sorry. This should work. File is not defined. Anyways, let's do file is not defined. I know. I mean, yeah. Wait. This doesn't make sense. There is no file. Ah, come on. I cannot write dix, it's this. And this is, yeah. Yes. Okay, again, wrong. Sorry for this. No, actually, no. Okay, I might have it to look it up. Yes, now it works. Yes, so sorry, I was wrong. Just when the syntax is you just define it as a positional arguments. I mean, not positional, sorry, optional. And it will, yeah, sorry. So you actually use it like quarks file. That's the proper way. Quarks. Yeah. And file in the dictionary is like this. Now it works. Let's print this. Yes. Yeah. So sorry for this. Yeah. Sorry for this. Real sorry. So that's keywords arguments, and just to make another point, another not perfect example. So we can have like quarks2 whatever, and quarks. I mean, it can be anything again. Yeah, to make a point. And let's see, I'm looking just for so it will be a dict. So I can, if target in anything keys, and target is defined. So I will have quarks2, and I will have a like la la la, a string la la la, and that should work. So, but now to make it print something, target is yada yada. Yeah. So what happens here? Maybe we can see it in the Python tutorial. It will be interesting. Sorry. Let's use this. Yeah, visualize. Can also get live help, but my point is this will visualize, and let's use the function. So visualize execution, yeah. So we define the whole function, that's clear. Now we see that the line was executed. We have the dictionary la 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 with string la la la, target yada yada, and it goes to the if. Now what happens now? Well, yeah, return value is none. Line has just executed. So, well, it's not something I really. It's not, that doesn't make the point clearly, but you see that it ignores the la 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 key and just is interested in the target. So just to make a point here, this function only cares about target. Rest is meaningless. So let's say you have some API and it returns you a JSON with, and so you convert it to a dictionary and it has lots of keys, and you are interested in just specific keys. So you can have like quarks and just like filter those stuff only you need, and rest is gone. So that might be like very specific case for something, but yeah, there might be other ways how to do the same thing, but this might be a helpful way. And such things as this, there are many examples in Python world. So depends on what you want to do. Again, this was actually useful in, not this, we have it open, but this day 4. I had some projects, expense calculator, yeah, sleep deficiency. Anyways, again, as I was saying last time, it's a good idea you make your own projects, and you know, just learn by doing, because that's actually how I learned. My first project was to write some. It was a Windows system, and I had to back up specific files on the SD card. So I checked if the SD card is existing. It was some, you know, Windows stuff, and then I copied the files, and then later I added to it. But I learned as I go, because I was, you know, how do I do this? Google it, used it, wrote it, learned something along the way. Then some of the things were tricky, so I asked how to do this better, because there is always a better way. And just to make a point in this, there is always a better way. It's best quote by Raymond Hettinger. So he says it almost in every of his lectures. So definitely recommending beyond tab 8. So you don't have to vigorously go, you know, through the code and make on every line just 79 characters, just to make it nice, so the checker tells you, oh, it's nice, you have exactly the characters as I was looking. But it goes beyond, because the readability is more important, and how the whole code works. And that's just explained in this lecture. Also, modern dictionaries. It's about Python 3.6 and how dictionaries are fast and useful. So again, in that Quarks example, it might be like very useful. And there are more lectures. I think there is something about, yeah, there's actually best speeches, coding challenges, about being core developer. There is super in classes, and there is also about actually, I think there is some list. I mean, Hettinger lectures. Yeah. So this is one of the core developers, and lots of good lectures. API design, fun with Python. He's the author of collections, I think. Named tuples, and also I think he wrote built-in functions, all and any, which are very simple. Yeah, all and any are just these 4 lines. So all returns true if all elements are in the iterable are true. So if not element, return false, otherwise return true. And any works just if at least one element in the iterable is true, it's okay. Yeah, you have to try it out on your own in some example. Okay, so showing some village. Next, this was very long explanation about keyword arguments and args, but I think it was helpful. You want to know more about JSON? Yeah, JSON. Yeah, I think we went through that. You know, JSON is a string, and there is JSON loads, and actually, I think I haven't explained it fully. So one of my other what I had in plan was actually to go through the documentation and the standard libraries. So we went through the built-in functions, sort of. There are lots of built-in functions we haven't gone through yet. The bin and like zip and vars and globals, locals, has attribute, hash, etc. They are all useful in some cases, but I just don't have an example for them. Actually, let's where I'm at this, I will link to interesting links. Let's make, how do I make? Of course it's a syntax error. Markdown. Raymond Hettinger is also Twitter, and he's doing like fun tips, or actually not fun tips, I mean it's fun, but yeah. Yeah, it's just quick lectures with Python, like interesting stuff, like stuff you might not think of that is possible. So let's link both of those, and then I will get to the point I was saying. Lectures, this is Markdown and Twitter, and let's make it nice. So I will do, how do I use it? Like this? No. Make a link. I will edit it later to make it nice. Oh, it's opposite. Oh, it's opposite. I always mix it up. Yes, Markdown. Yeah. No. Yeah, I didn't do this. Yeah, and Raymond's. What? Raymond's Twitter is. This should work. This should work. Yeah. So tips and stuff. Yeah. Raymond H. And my point was that next time it really doesn't work. Because I didn't do Markdown, of course. It's not code, it's Markdown. Okay. So in next lectures, because Python beginners. Yeah, so this was Quarks, args, and it's just not defined in actually I wrote learning by writing some simple programs, so that will be next lecture, because I don't have any simple programs in my mind just now. It would be a good idea that you will have some, and we would go through them. So for example, like well, we could do some Arch Linux stuff, like something with package builds perhaps, or well, we could do, for example, like well, you can do it in Bash, but you have like var cache passman package, and it's just all the packages you have are installed, and we can have like list what all packages you have in this folder and what versions you have. So that could be like one example. So actually let's write it down somewhere. Idea, what I just said. I'll write it down later. Var cache passman package, and yeah, more examples. Think for the next week. Next week I will be on some holiday, so I will be available first on Friday, so hope that will work for a schedule. Anyways, if you don't, you can always watch the recording later. And otherwise, besides that, where am I at? So we will just we can get through this documentation. So yeah, we can do some more stuff with the try and accept. That might be a good example in the simple program itself. And something with date, time, calendar conditions. Well, my point is that we can cryptography. Oh, actually, yeah, this is the point. So you see, these are what is bold is like datetime is it's a library. Calendar is perhaps also a library. Yeah, calendar. Yeah. Anyways, we can just get through at least what I know from the libraries I know, because I don't know many of them, because I just simply haven't used them. itertruth is, for example, functions for efficiency looping, and also high order functions. So that can be used in functional programming. These two. In some cases, definitely there are some videos or tutorials for that. Anyways, the Python beginners is like the, this is a good point, because the point of this whole course is to get you to the point, then you can just look something up, and just by reading the tutorial or watching it, you can learn on your own. You don't have to, spend just get scared and be worried about what's that or what's this. Pickle is also interesting. So compression, yeah, file formats, working CSVs, config parser, hashlib. Yeah, the OS sys courses, very nice. Also threading, it's just an endless stuff. I don't think there are many fields that haven't been covered with Python. I mean, of course, specific stuff is there is like for R, for example, I think it's good for data visualizations or just working with the data collections in general. But of course, that's Python is very strong in that as well. Or Haskell is for functional programming. That's like better for it, but it's also possible in Python. So as I was saying, there is no best language, because for each task, some language is just ideal. Also for something like, I think Go is good for working with network and data packets in general, and the threading and everything. It can be done in Python, but it's just better when you know you will be solving that task to use Golang. Yeah, so in-time protocols, URL parser, cookies, we can, I was saying we could do Beautiful Soup, parsing some web, which is not always fun, because it's just better to use some API. Yeah, we can work with files, audio, video, and that's what's built in, and that's Python 2 even. We should look at the latest 3.7. Yeah, so it will be a little bit different. We can use regex. Regex is fun. I didn't show it. Python 2 time countdown. Python 2 will end in just 1 year, 5 months, 13 days, and 12 hours and 1 minute and 47 seconds. So Python 2 will still continue living, and lots of libraries, for example famous Calibre, is built on Python 2, and there is, we can find one of the issues that the core developer, or I'm not sure who it was actually, wants to keep Calibre on Python 2. So perhaps we can do some challenge to just help the guys write it to Python 3, because I mean the stuff will still work, and you know, Python 2 zips and packages will not disappear, so you can always install them. But when there will be some, you know, security exploit, the core developers will no longer be maintaining it and fixing it. They will just say, hey, you use Python 2, you should use Python 3 by now, because Python 3 is there for first version. I think it was like 2010. Yeah. So that was 2008 actually, December 3rd. So you know, that's almost 10 years of Python 3, and you know, we should just use it by now. I will not get to the discussion why there was Python 2, why there is Python 3. It just happened. You can find it. So in next lectures we can do, yeah, anything you want. That's what I keep saying. Pick a project. I will think of more stuff we can do, and we'll actually do some more coding and learn by doing. Yeah, so you see lots of stuff, and I don't think there are many people who know everything. They just know specific stuff, because there are always you know, different ways of doing stuff. Because for example, you might use argparse, or just use the sysarg argv, you know, but argparse is better. Argparse is you know, it's for like a header for the program, so you have a description, then you have arguments, so it will just print you how to use the program, so you don't have to do the whole logic, like if this parameter is defined and if it's not defined, do this or that. So we can go quickly through this. There is like I like argparse cookbook. It's like shorter, it's like shorter, you know, how to use it, like cheat sheet, because sometimes documentation for me is like too many words and it's hard to understand. I'm just simple human, and sometimes I just don't get what they mean. So in this example, it's sometimes better. So again, let's write it into interesting links, and you know, whatever you want to do. Yeah, I'm just reading this. Yeah, of course we can use Python with Bash. So I think I have it defined. Let's see. Actually, I will not show you it. I think it's this. And so this is my little machine. It's actually this machine. It's PC Engine APUs to this machine. So it's this tiny box. It doesn't have any VGA. It just have 3 Ethernets, COM, USB, and power. And these are, what are these? How it's called? I think it's called, yeah, mini PCI Express. So you can either have SSD or just some Wi-Fi card, and you know all these how is it called? GPO, I2C, ATC. So actually there's also like how to use it with Arc. You know, because you have to connect connect the serial and then boot it up, and then until you get to the SSH. Anyways, what this main use for this is, let's use Tmax. So this is like check Solr HTTP server. So this is like I think it's, what's this? Yeah, it's the V3M viewer. So Shift R, come on. So currently at this time it's not very nice weather. No, yeah, I have it. So this village, just some symbol. Yeah, so it's windy, it's cloudy. The current wattage is not too great. So the problem I had with this is that I have to collect each by end of the month how much is the total energy collected, and the machine itself, it has of course internet access, so it shows this web server, and it has also like some comms, so you can get the log, the whole log, and just get it, but the log is larger and larger and it's very slow. So if you want to get the whole data, it will take like 10 hours to download it, which is just unrealistic. So what I did is I did a very simple web parser, and I'm writing it to log file, and it's just datetime, and the key is this actual energy, total energy, and daily energy. So we can have a look at it. Pico, yeah, the machine is called Pico. So I have lots of mess in here. So I can show you via curl. Yeah, so there is some password is default, no secrets. So if I will just do it, it's this web page. So I do the same with Python. So there is some datetime requests and a beautiful soup. So I have the settings in here. Then I have this is doing nothing. It's just for me, I define the data structure. So I have function get payload. So request get the URL, the basic authentication, username and password. So that's the PV server and PVW. If R is okay, because you might remember that if everything is okay, it returns 200. So if the ROK is actually true or false, so if it's correct, it will set the encoding, because it's a check page, so it has some crazy characters. Then I save the payload to, the R content, the whole HTML. I save to payload, and I get the current time, and then I return it as a tuple. And then I have another function, unpack payload. So that defines the result. Yeah, I didn't finish it. I wrote it in a few hours, and it was done. So result time, yeah. So I created the dictionary. Then I created another dictionary for time. The time always have to be defined in the function. So actually I will show you how to use it. So I save time and payload from get payload. So you see on line 40 it's time and payload, so it's the same. And then I just print unpack payload and time and payload. Yeah. So I always, as you saw in this, oops, yeah, this is also interesting. The machine is very low powered. It's very simple, and it's actually quite hot. I should get more cooling on that. And Arch Linux, very simple. It has 4 gigs of memory and 4 cores, and it's not super fast. So like building something on it, it's not a good idea. But for what it has to do is just perfect, and it has way more what it can do. So yeah, this is the time. This is daytime now, and then there is the dictionary. Yeah, because the whole dictionary is this, and then there is this is the key, daytime now, and then is another dictionary with 3 keys, and yeah, so this will make sense here. Yeah, because this is the first dictionary and second dictionary. So then I do the soup, then I do some parsing. So it's hard-coded, as you see. It's not very nice because I just tried it out that actual and total is on row 6. That's the beautiful soup. I will not get to that in too much, but I just did that the actual energy is on this this index, the total energy is on that index. Actually did some list comprehension, and yeah, the total energy is this, and then I could do for the rest, but it was not, because it's just this is in Czech, just the current is actually these stuff. Yeah, I don't really care about those. They are not super important, so we don't save them for now. But my point is that I just did this 80 lines, and then as I run it as this. So every 300 seconds, that's 5 minutes, I run Python, this PyCopy file, and save it to log. So tail f log. Yeah, so this is you saw this current date. Every 5 minutes it saves this, saves it to a log. So the log is currently 10 megabytes. So that's data from a whole year, almost a whole year, I think. And when I just want to look at it and find some specific date, I just find it in here. Of course, I planned to do it like, just have a web server and just find the latest date in a month. So for example this, and just print me what was the total energy. And of course in night there is no sun, so the web server just prints XXX. So I could also have like if the current energy is XXX, just don't save it, because it's a waste of space, because you see it's the same, only thing that's changing is the time. And I can also have something like get the time when the sun stops shining. Yeah, many stuff. So this might be also like, I was thinking we could get this log, or like improve the whole code to do more stuff, because I haven't figured it out yet how to do, like how to get the latest day in a month and etc. So that's actually, yeah, so that's the use of watch. Yeah, because of course I could have just while through and have it done everything in Python, but I don't have to. That's the point. Yeah, and I think there was some lecture that you don't have to have everything perfectly and awesomely and etc. Just as it does what you want to do. Actually, if it works for you, it's okay. Don't dwell on it too much. Yeah. So exiting this, recommending this machine, it's really great. And actually, let's do some update. And by this, we will end. Yeah, we will end this lecture. So just do it. Yeah, the web server just is somehow, I don't know what it is, but there's no UTF-8. The CP1252 worked. Yeah, don't do DD. Yeah, you also that's might be I mean, good thing to mention that Python 3. No, there's some pep that in other distributions the Python is still linking to Python 2. Only in Arch Linux the Python is linking to Python 3. Maybe on some other distributions, maybe by now as well. So because mostly you see people writing Python 3 and then something, you know, to actually run the Python 3. So maybe in, I mean, it has to be in 2 years or when the countdown will stop. The dictionaries, I mean, the distributions have to. Oh, okay. So that's how you do it. Exec, really? If I just do which Python? Oh, okay. I learned something. Yeah, I mean, if this should work as well, right? Yeah, that's the same thing. Yeah, so we get it. Okay, that's all for today, and we will have the right, where did I say this? Yeah, so next we will do the program for let's actually, I will write it, list files in get all downloaded packages and all their versions. So it will be very simple, I think. Maybe we will run into some issues, and maybe we'll run not just how to do it in Python, like what libraries to use and how to do it best, but also we get to the point how to do it best logically. Yeah, that's the whole thing in Python. So we can end. I'm running for lunch. See you all. No questions.